I just gotten off 95 South. I was around my house. I was driving around and I was lost. I wasn't lost where I was at. I knew exactly where I was at, but I was lost in my mind and in my heart. I was empty. And I thought, a lot was going on in my life. I was thinking about a lot that had happened. A certain event had happened and I didn't know what to do. And I thought, well, I'll just do what I always do. I'll call my mom. And then I thought, well, I know what she's gonna say. She always says the same things because I always call her with the same problems. And I thought, all right, I'll just pray to God. Well, I thought I can't do that because I feel so guilty for everything I've done. I didn't even feel right. And I knew if I prayed to God, it'd be the same thing I always do. So at that moment, I just broke down. I broke down and I started to cry. And I said, God, you know what? I'm tired. I can't carry these burdens anymore. I'm weak. My soul's beaten. My heart's beaten. I'm completely empty. And I'm just done trying to fight these battles. And I'm ready to give it all to you. I'm ready to lay these heavy burdens that I've rested upon my shoulders and give them to you and lay them before your feet, knowing that you're going to take care of it, knowing that you're going to pull me out of this darkness and bring me to the light. And I was just, that's what I was ready for. At that very moment driving, I knew that I was done. I gave up the fight and I was ready to start living with God. So at that moment, I decided to not only attend church with my parents at Restore, which they found probably 2 weeks before I started to attend, but I truly started to pay attention. I truly started to read my Bible and go through scriptures. Once you're accepting of Christ, you know that prayer is so real. Prayer is it's so much love involved, and it's not just, folding your hands and talking to yourself. It's so much more to that, So it feels amazing to hear that someone's going to pray for me, or that someone has prayed for me, or someone's going to keep me in their prayers. It feels like you just have so many teammates rooting for you. So prayer these days, it's changed a lot for me as well. It's funny how Christ works, because I remember when I first started working at my bakery, my father's bakery, I met a friend there who also was a man of Christ. He's young like me, probably 25, 27. And he told me, we would talk every once in a while about God and about faith. And we stopped kind of talking, not so much, just because we were always busy working or we wouldn't have time to catch up. And lately, I had my baptism and I told him about it. And he came to work one day and he said, man, I have to be honest with you, before you started working here, before we started talking, I started to lose my faith. But since you came in, I feel like your walk with God and your journey with God has brought me closer to God myself. And I just thought that how much of a blessing that was to hear. And it's funny how it works, because it's almost like a full circle. He tells me that my walk with God brought him closer to God. And just by him telling me that, knowing that I helped him get closer to God, that also brought me closer to God. So it's just like a full cycle, a full circle that keeps going round and round. That, I brought him closer. He lets me know of that encouragement that I've given him. So that automatically brought me closer. And I think that's just awesome. That was one of the first signs of God that I really experienced.